Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Confidence. My sweet, gorgeous, and beautiful confidence. It's your girl, the one and only, the one who's absolutely sure we don't know everything, KELSEY Darragh. You know, visually, it's probably best you don't look at me this week. Visually, it's probably best. You don't need to see this. This is going to be a little bit of a different kind of episode. Remember last week when I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for my studio. I'm in the middle of moving. Oh my God, give me some grace. Me. I really had high ambitions, high hopes. And I thought, surely I'd have the studio done and the house moved in a week's time. Wow. Talk about Delulu 2025. That is my mantra this year. I've never felt less confused by time. I don't really know what day it is. All I know is I wake up on the floor of my new place and I'm like slowly starting to piece my routine back together. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, there's my coffee machine. Okay, Hippo's got to go potty and I have to install this new dog door because we used to have a backyard. Now we have a patio with a little pee-pee big grass. And then I'm starting to put my pieces together. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't work today because I have no internet because I'm still setting up Mikasa. And I'm doing it alone. Sans athlete, sans lover, sans friends. I can't accept help. I've got a problem. I don't know how to accept help. I had so many friends offer to help move and help carry boxes and do physical labor. And I was like, no, because you know what? I'm not going to lie. I would offer the same exact situation to them. I'd be like, yeah, of course I'll help you move. I don't want to help. And therefore, I wasn't going to force any of my friends to do such things for me. So I've been, to say moving is like, it feels like a lie at this point because I'm moved. I've just been unpacking and putting things up and organizing and Facebook marketplacing. And side note, I know we hate Zuck, but goddamn, I love Marketplace. I've made some great friends on Marketplace. I've brokered some deals. Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio and Wolf of Wall Street. Check me out on Marketplace because I be wheeling and dealing. Imagine me just like ripping lines in a business suit and tie at 9 a.m, like I'm in Wolf of Wall Street, but fucking on Facebook Marketplace, ripping deals of like $30 like patio chairs. Because I feel like that has been my fucking life. If I'm sitting, which hasn't been often because I had no couch up until yesterday, I was on Marketplace. I was on Marketplace or The Talk looking for design ideas. I will go lie to you. And you know, I had a big moving truck day where big movers like helped carry all the big wardrobe pieces and like my bed and such natures of things of sorts. And like, I'm very grateful to them. They became the homies. Shout out Carlos, Jube, Yassar, and Jorge. That's mi familia now. But I'm not gonna lie. It didn't help me get my house together. Like it didn't help put the apartment in the places it needed to be. Like, sure, they put the boxes in the rooms, but then I gotta sort through it all and like put them the places they gotta go. And I made a special friend with Jorge. He like walked through the house and gave me like good interior design advice. And then he ended up taking my piano off my hands. You know, we connected on the social medias. And it's just a nice guy. He told me all about this property he bought out in Palmdale. He's raising 2 dogs. Somebody stole his street lights. Like, I know a lot about this man's life. And I appreciate him. And then I come home and I realized like, oh, they reinstalled doors on my cabinet backwards, like inside out. And if you're wondering, what do you mean? Exactly. I went to go open a cabinet that they helped me move, and I was like, where the fuck are the handles? And I was like, they're inside the cabinet. What? And like I had to get a goddamn drill and undo the fucking, it's just like, I love them, but it was also like your drunk brother helping you move a little bit. But I got a couch. Fucking peep this couch. If you are on the visual on youtube.com/KelseyDarragh, which again, I do not encourage you to go and see what I look like. I genuinely don't think you should. It's not great. I've got no eyelashes because I'm stressed. I've been pulling them out. My perioral dermatitis, which is a hormone / some think fluoride water / I think it's pretty much just hormones, rash on my face, which, I can usually keep it at bay with antibiotics and some creams and things that I smear on my face like a bagel, like a little New York deli bagel, just smearing shit on my face. She's off to the rodeo. I can't control her. She's a wild beast. She's gone out. And I always tend to get it on my right side of my face worse. Does anyone who gets perioral dermatitis know why maybe one side's worse than the other? Like, actually, if you look at me from this angle, it's not terrible. Anyway, but I do have to shout out the Vancouver nail salon. I got my nails done in 2 weeks, maybe even longer, like 2.5 weeks ago, because my God, these gels, like if you could actually see my fingers, they are black. They are like soot on all the edges, but the fucking gels stayed perfectly well. Like I've been reaching in cabinets and lifting boxes and dusting off shit and moving plants and and oh my God, everything is dirt and mayhem around them. But shout out, I wish I knew the name, but goddamn, if you're in Vancouver, DM me and I'll shoot you the place, because I should send these chicks a fucking thank you note for how well they did my goddamn nails. The gels are hard as rock, baby. So that's my excuse number one. I'm using my little handy cam here, my little Osmo, my Digi Pocket Osmo 3 to shoot this instead of being in this dude, because it's not set up. I'll walk you, I'll bring you, we're now in a moving podcast. I'll bring you to see a little sneak pocket peek of the studio. Okay, I've turned the camera around. This is the office for me and my boo thing. And this is where we're going to pod. I got the couch with the TV and my neon signs, and I've started setting up, but like nothing's actually set up. My little soundboard. I want to do it right this time. I want to make sure it looks really good and the artwork's all there. And this is the rest of the office. It's a bit of a schmesh. There's a giant storage bin in my bathroom. Like I'm having to like brush my teeth like while sitting on the toilet, because that's the only place I don't have shit everywhere. It's just a mess. But the highlight was finding this fucking Facebook Marketplace couch, bitches. I have been looking for a khaki linen couch for weeks. Dare I say months. When I knew I was going to move, when I needed to move, I was like, I better start looking for a couch. And I fucking looked and looked and looked. I needed a specific size. I wanted it to be comfy, but not like too lived in. I just knew I didn't want to buy one from Bezos. And I wasn't going to allow myself to cave. Because when I get frustrated and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just like, oh, just do it. Just do the Amazon thing. But, old Zach Noe Towers has been trying to de-influence me from using any of those websites. I've done no Target runs recently. Fuck Home Goods to the highest degree. I just have not been using the stores that are no longer DEIing and that are trumping. So I really held out. And sure enough, I see this woman list this couch, and I DM her because she's got 6 pieces of a modular couch. Now that's a lot of pieces. And I DM her and I'm like, hey, would you be willing to sell me like 4, maybe 5 of those pieces? I don't hear back from her. And I'm like, okay, it's probably a lost cause. A lot of times people list things and then they don't follow through, or they sell it somewhere else, or they decide whatever, messages go unanswered. But no matter what I saw out there, I kept coming back to this one couch. And so I decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to message her again. I try not to double message because I don't want to seem like a thirsty slut. But I was like, hey, I really want this couch. Would you, I'll take all 6, but I only need 4 or 5 pieces. Let me know. And boom, right away she messages me back. And she was like, yeah, I'd be willing to do 4 or 5. What are you thinking? And I go, well, you've listed 6 pieces for $650. How about 4 pieces for $400, 5 pieces for $500? And she said, yeah, no problem. I said, great. Can I come look at it today? She said, sure, come on by. Lo and behold, meet the sweetest woman. And she was actually Native American from Canada, from Saskatchewan. And she even had one of those tattoos like down her chin that I've seen on the Talk app that Native Americans get. And it looked baller as fuck. It looked so cool. She leads me up to her house, and her partner, who introduced himself as Chief Hollywood, which I thought was very, very fitting. These sweet angel babies had washed all the cushions of this couch, had restuffed it and everything. And we're like, yeah, here she is. And I took about 3 looks at her and I said, yeah, I'll take her. That's mine. She's coming home with me, baby. And I said, fuck, I don't want you to sell this to anyone, but it's not going to fit in my car, obviously. So here, what if I give you a deposit? And then I'll figure out a way to get somebody over here to pick it up. And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. We'll be here today, tomorrow. I said, great. I sent her the money. She seems like a nice enough lady. I don't think she's going to screw me over, And I go online and I see that there's this app called Lugg, Lugg. Bitch, tell me why it's the fucking Uber Eats of a pickup truck. You just say what size thing you need, what they're carrying, and what they're literally lugging. And my fucking Uber Eats lug truck was there in 7 minutes. And 2 very friendly men, again, I keep getting real lucky with these motherfucking movers, went and lugged that couch 5 pieces in a row, drove it 5 minutes to my new place, put it in my fucking, and bitch, are we living in the goddamn future that I can basically Uber Eats a fucking pickup truck? Where have I been living under a fucking rock? Not me fucking renting a fucking U-Haul last week to move some stuff over like a heathen, literally living in the Stone Age. Crazy. Anyways, I got this couch. It's real comfy. And I've been trying to teach Hippo not to be on this couch, but he keeps laying on it. And I don't have the heart to kick him off. I tell him to go to his place and I get him off the couch. But goddamn, he keeps getting back up because he's so cozy and he looks so cute. And I can see his little toe beans right now. And he needs a bath. He's been running around with mama and just doing stuff with me. And he's stinky and he shouldn't be on this new khaki couch. But god dang it, I can't bring myself to kick him off the couch. Anyway, we broke it off with the girl we were seeing. And I feel like I kind of casually mentioned it last week. I feel like that's some housekeeping to attend to, It's such a bummer because I feel like we knew the writing was on the wall. Like it was interesting because, we had been dating her together, even though we had gone on dates and separately and we've hooked up individually and all those things and together. But it really did feel like a team effort kind of relationship with this person. And when I say relationship, I mean we were dating. We weren't our girlfriend or anything like that, but we were dating for a few months. And there becomes a period in dating someone casually like around month 4 or 5, which we were at, where it's very much like a shit or get off the pot vibes, with somebody. And by that, I mean like you're either realizing that like your lifestyles really align or they don't. Like not only lifestyles, but like connection. Like, is there anything deeper to this? And the bummer part is like, I do think in an ideal world that there was a place to go deeper. Like I was really liking and infatuated with the idea of what it could have been, because we talked about so many of the same things that we saw for ourselves in our lives and our values, and like what did being a throuple look like, and like even like talking about like kids and raising them in a community and how much better that would be, and like being workaholics and boss bitches, and like we just had a lot in common that felt really aligned. But then there also felt like this weird like lack of getting deeper. Like we got along so well and so easily, but then like didn't have, I don't know, like we had very deep conversations. We were easily able to chat and like get along, but there was just not the feeling was lacking in the depth of what, conversations were happening. And maybe that's on me, because like I tend to be able to get very deep very quickly, just because it's like the nature of my job with interviewing people and trying to make people feel comfortable very quickly. And like, I think there was a version of that happening where I was able to ask questions and go deep, because that's like my innate nature in being a very open person. And there just wasn't this deeper level, even though we were does that make any sense? I realize I just said the same thing twice, but do you fucking get it? Have you ever gotten to that point where it was just like kind of not working connection wise? And, I think a big factor too was that our schedules were on opposites. Like I and Henny like are very bred for the morning. We're just such morning people. We love a sunshine. We love a sunrise. We love to rise and grind and get after it. And she was very much a night owl. Like got so much shit done when no one could reach her at work. Like just the opposite of what we were lifestyle wise. And so that was always really hard. And if there was anything I learned from that, it did teach me that like I have become maybe a little too recluse in my days, in my 30s, of like needing to push myself sometimes to go out there and be social, especially now that Henny and I are doing long distance. Like I think that was also another factor, maybe perhaps. I mean, no one said that was a reason why, but I definitely felt like once Henny went over to the UK for his goalkeeper training stuff, that it just like the timing also was like, okay, what are we all doing? Like I'm moving, like you're busy with work, Henny's overseas, like no one's seeing anybody essentially. And I think because Henny and I had this like really strong, deep, long foundation of dating for as long as we have, which also feels so weird because I swear to God, I feel like it was just yesterday that I was like crying about my last breakup. Yeah, there was no glue holding it together. But I think we'll be friends and I think we'll stay like casually social. But now I'm in this interesting place where I'm in this new apartment. I'm, not seeing Henny. I'm not seeing the girl we were dating. And now I'm like, oh my God, okay, we really are on like a blank slate. And I was trying to also take this new space as a reset too, just for like routine and everything. And I feel like I haven't been able to get there because of just the lack of like the setup is like, I just this place isn't set up yet for me to establish a routine. And so things have just been a little discombobulated, which I love that word. Do we know the origins? Is it a real word? I fear that I've got like my whole fucking chest into this word discombobulated. It might not even be a real word. Where's the don't Google it button on this camera? Anyway, so yeah, been dealing with that. I feel like I've been passing the time of unpacking and unboxing with watching Love is Blind, the new season. Well, I guess it's been out for a while now, season 8, I believe. And I know I'm a little bit behind on it. And there's a couple shows I want to watch. Like, I'm all caught up on White Lotus, thank God, because I've got fucking thoughts, bruh. I've been deep down the talk on White Lotus conspiracy theories. I need to catch up on Severance. I need to watch the new Shonda Rhimes show. I need to watch Adolescence. Like, there's a lot I need to watch, but I have been too busy watching Love is Blind. And it's one of those things where I am reminded that Love is Blind really is limerence at its finest. And it forces me to sort of put a mirror up to myself and be like, okay, where do I like quickly, you combine my nature of being an open person with like, interviewer tendencies and ability to get deep with someone, combined with like my just like love of love and like my love of wanting to build my relationships into more than one person, and like experiencing people and experiencing life and like having these like life experiences. And it just has been like a reminder of knowing to temper expectations and to take it easy and not like force anything, right? Like, I think with the girl we were seeing, that I could tell it was kind of like that connection was missing a little bit. And then every time we tried to hang out, something would come up, whether it was like she was sick or like burnt out from work, or I had to go to Vancouver and blah, blah, blah. Like, it was just one of those things where by the third or fourth time we tried to like, oh, when are you free? I just gave her like a text out, which maybe I should have called her, but I just was like, by the way, like, if this is becoming too much of a thing, it's like, it's totally okay. And I support like just, taking it back and being casual and like staying friends or whatever. When we come back, I'll tell you what she said back. And we're back. And what's funny is she called me. And so when she called me, which like normally we text because it's easier for our schedules during the week, I knew, I was like, okay, she wants to like have it be a phone conversation, which I thought was like nice and mature on her part. And, she was very like, I see like scheduling is really hard, and, I'm going through a lot with work and blah, 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 blah. And it just felt like very easy, which I can appreciate. I feel like the ease of dating women has always been when you find someone that communicates the same way you do, it's very kind. Like, I would be friends with her, like go shopping and go to brunch and like hang out or whatever. Like, I would totally do that with her as a friend. And so I felt like it was very easy for us to see each other's point of views and just be like, oh yeah, this doesn't have to be like a big thing. Like, we can still keep in touch and blah, blah, blah. So that's my like housekeeping update. And also that's why I think you should all try dating and breaking up with women, because just to see what a difference it can be on your mental health. Like, it doesn't have to be, I don't know what it is with men, man, but that shit just is so gut-wrenching and toxic. And like, oh, it's been terrible. All of them are terrible. Like, even my best one with Jared, the like conscious uncoupling was like the biggest heartbreak of my life. So even though it was like a very beautiful breakup, it still fucking sucked. Like, God, this has been the easiest breakup I ever did. There's the title of the episode. So, you know, I've been also spending a lot of time with my friends, which you naturally neglect when you get into a new relationship. And I feel like because Henny and I moved in with each other very quickly, you know, it was very easy to just, oh, I don't need to go to this thing because I'll just be at home with the guy I really like and like sitting on his face and all that shit. So that was way more appealing. So now that I'm here in this new place and, you know, Hippo needs to get out and get socialized and I need to get out and stop unpacking boxes and moving things around and tinkering things and like hanging things, it has been a not like a chore, but it has been an intentional work, ongoing work for me to go be social. And that is one thing I miss about like having a corporate job or, you know, working on camera more full time, is that I had a reason to like get up and put on my makeup and do my hair and like wear a cute outfit. And I feel like so far this year, besides being on like work trips or ski trips, I haven't really had a reason to like put on something cute. And so I found myself slipping into like a little bit of a depression this year and, you know, not taking my Vyvanse as often was probably a piece of that too. But just knowing that I wasn't realizing I was in like a depression slump until I was like in it. I was like, oh, okay. That's what this is. Yeah, duh. I recognize this. Like this is tale as old as time. Has anyone seen the new Snow White movie? I want to see it because I love What's Her Nuts, the amazing singer. But I don't know if I can be bothered. So yeah, making an intentional effort to, you know, book things and stick to them, because I am like the queen of canceling, like the queen of not needing to go out. Being okay with doing things on my own. Like I've always been a person that loves to go grab dinner or coffee or movies by myself. So that hasn't been very hard, but even just like the more easy tasks, like going to the grocery store, I was putting off because I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired at the end of the day. I just want to Postmate something. Fuck it. And being like, bitch, you need food. Like you actually need food in this house. You need to be able to have something at the ready at your fingertips to eat. You can't just keep finding old fucking candy apple lollipops in the back of your pantry and like hard-boiled eggs. That's not a meal. So just doing all the tools that like I wrote about in my book or like see online, like your girl Mel Robbins has been in my ears this past week. I've also been listening to audiobooks while unpacking, like loving the new Fourth Wing, Onyx Storm, I think it's what it's called. It took me a while. I started it and then stopped a couple chapters in. I was like, I don't know what's happening or remember why this matters. And now I'm back in. Your girl is back in. And just doing like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method where you count back from 5 in your head. And no matter what, at 1, your body, like something about that countdown wants to get up and do something and have movement. Another thing that I've been doing is like just one step. Like I don't need to do the whole thing. I just need to do one step of it. Or like if I need to cash a check or pay a bill or whatever, I don't even need to like open my phone to do that. I can just take the envelope out and like put it in front of me. And then I'm like, okay, I'll come back and like do part 2 when I'm feeling more awake and feel better about this. You know, just doing one little thing. Another hack I love doing is like setting a timer for 2 minutes. So once you get started on a task, your brain does like to finish and keep going. So it's the same thing with like a writing hack where if you have a hard time writing, just set a timer for 2 minutes and like barf out whatever is in your brain onto the page. Like, it doesn't have to be good. It could literally be like blah, 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 blah. I'm just writing, haha. But once you get into the groove of something and like you realize your timer goes off after 2 minutes and you're like, oh wait, I can finish a sentence. Like, oh, I have one more thing I want to say. I've also been going to a new coffee shop nearby, and it sounds like I walked in on them having sex. I walked in on two gays. I did walk in on two gay men doing The Artist's Way, which it's that book that Doechii and a bunch of artists talk about and attribute to like their success. And I bought it right before the move, and I haven't like cracked it open. Like, I've looked at it and I think I read the intro and I was like, oh, dude, I can't right now. And so I saw these gays doing their Artist's Way pages, and that was last week. And like Hippo said hi to them. So I was just like, oh, hi. And then I saw them again this Sunday and I was like, are you guys doing the same thing? And they're like, yeah, this is like our accountability group. Like, we meet every Sunday and go over our thing. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. I love it. So my goal is to like infiltrate and try and get my way, maybe even like adjacently. All I have to do is show up to the coffee shop every Sunday at the same time with my book and just be like, oh, I started coming here too with, oh, it's so silly. Anyways, is that seat open? Very nice guys. Brian and Jeremy were their names. Wow, I can't believe I remembered that. The shit your brain remembers, dude. I can't fucking for the life of me remember a goddamn appointment or to call like the IRS. But boy, oh boy, I can remember the two gays at a coffee shop. Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah, so I also think the weather has not helped. I know that we are in the new spring forward, and we just had the time change, and like the weather should be coming back out around. But bitch, it been raining. It been cloudy and it been raining. And there's something about like, I feel like when it's raining, nobody's getting anything done. And so therefore I feel like I'm cheating a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm catching up. Like everyone's off today, not all the way on. And I also need to practice not looking at the macro of things where like when I'm in the thick of the depression, I'll scale out and be like, God, what have I done in the last 5 years? And in my head, I'll go to like the last literally 5 years and be like, nothing's happened in 5 years. I haven't done anything successful. I'm a waste. I'm trash. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a failure. Like, I haven't done anything I've set out to do, rather than being like, oh, hey, do you realize today you fucking basically built an office and like put together IKEA furniture and did a deal on Marketplace and was able to text all your friends back and provide a meal for yourself? And maybe you didn't shower, but you thought about it a few times. Like, as soon as I go to the macro of like, what am I doing with my life? I'm disconnected. I'm out of the mindfulness. I can't see the detail. I can't see the truth, honestly. I just go to this very like, I can see it in my head. It's a visual of like everything gets zoomed out, and I see like physical blankness when I look at calendars in my head. I'm like, there's nothing that's happened. And that's just not true. It can feel like maybe I didn't have any specific super duper highs, but when I actually zoom in and like if I were to go to my actual Google Calendar, I would be like, oh, holy fuck, I've been doing so much and I've done so much and I've started so many things, and there is a lot that I should be grateful for and proud of. And so if any of those hacks resonated with you, give them a try, or perhaps you could leave me a little commento below, which means you'd have to go to the visual of this YouTube channel and look at me dead in my square fucking faced, rashed, mouthed, tie eyelashless, fucking crazy grown out highlights, sweater stained face, and tell me a comment of how you help deal with your own depression. God bless America. I'm also thinking about all the Tesla vandalization, and I'm so embarrassed that I have a Tesla, but I also can't afford to sell it and like get something else. Just like I can't right now. I literally cannot put one more thing on my plate. And I think I just need to buy one of those bumper stickers that's like, what were some funny ones I saw on Etsy today? They were like, fan of clean air, not the CEO. Or there was another good one. Like this Tesla doesn't support fascism. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cute. It's got like the gay pride flag in the T. Like there's some cute ones that I could buy and make work. So another niche call out. But if you own a Tesla, are you worried about it getting vandalized? What are you doing to try and keep the people away? Sometimes I wish I could just write like, I had an abortion in like the dust on the back of my windshield and hope that that would like keep people, I don't know. But yeah, so send me your good vibes, light a fucking candle in my name. We have a very exciting giveaway on April Fool's. It is, I believe, an all Tarte product giveaway. I'm on one of their PR lists, and some of the things that I don't use or have duplicates of, I do have a lot of duplicates of their stuff. Putting together a little giveaway. So make sure you are following the podcast Instagram at Confidently Pod. Also, if you have the time, if you have it in your little heart, if you have it in your big heart, if you have it in your medium-sized heart, it's not about the size of the heart. It's about the love inside of it. If you could be so kind to leave us a review, it really helps us get seen. And if it's not going to be 5 stars, then don't rate it at all. Hey, while you're here, if you're a fan of Guilty Pleasures, did you know we're doing our first live show at Dynasty Typewriter in Hollywood on 4/20, hee hee. Also Easter, also 4/20, also a Sunday. You can buy tickets at Dynasty Typewriter. We are doing the final Twilight movie, and it's going to be a hoot. Miss those boys already. There's also going to be merch and some exclusive stuff that you don't just get anywhere. And I think there's a couple VIP tickets. You can do a meet and greet. We can take a pick and hug. I need a hug. Why am I coughing? It's fucking late. Your girl's got to go to bed. You should too, unless it's daytime. Then stay awake and enjoy your day. I love you, confidants, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.